This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview.
Joining us today is Angus Forrest, the Chairman of Acuity Risk Management. Thank you very much for your time. Angus, how are you?
I'm well, thank you, Mark. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity to talk to your viewers about Acuity, which has continued to make progress in the last 6 months. If you look at the measures which most companies use, so revenues increasing, orders increasing, sales pipeline increasing. We haven't done maybe as well as I had originally hoped, but it's not shameful in any way. And most companies would be quite pleased to see an increase in revenues of 11%, increase in new orders of 20% plus, and a sales pipeline which is dramatically bigger than it was 18 months ago. So I think that my ambition for the company is there. We have had a number of projects take longer than we might have anticipated. And if you want to know why we haven't announced any large orders, or we've announced a couple of orders, I'm really happy to explain why we haven't announce them.
Okay, indeed, yes. I'll get onto that in a moment if we can. I did notice there was a comment this morning I picked up just on referencing the results this morning and obviously referencing that money in the bank there, 1.85 million. But they were commenting that the chairman perhaps said last year that the expected revenue to be cash generative by the end of Q2 and profitable by the end of 24. So I'm not sure if that is what your intention was, but I wonder if you could sort of make a comment on that.
It was my intention and expectation, and we are going to be, or we are from time to time, that's month by month, cash generative, but we're not over a year. And similarly, because of the way we are forced to account for revenues and orders, it is much more difficult for us to be profitable. We will be profitable, I'm sure, in 2025, but we have to spread the amount of money over the contract in equal instalments. So if we win a £120,000 contract for a year, we've got to divide that by 12, and we take a 12th every month, so 10,000.
Yeah,
which makes it more difficult to be profitable. But cash generative, we are some months cash generative, but we haven't got to the point where we're completely cash generative.
Right, okay, but that is the aim for 2025. Okay, thank you for saying that. And of course, I did notice in the statement that you did say that the strategic aim remains unchanged, namely to be increase revenues, particularly recurring revenues, and to generate cash and profits to drive shareholder value. You did also note that it was a little bit disappointing there were few new large orders to be announced because the opportunities have perhaps been taking a little bit longer or a little bit more complex than you originally thought. So you did make a comment earlier about some of these large orders. So could you perhaps elaborate a little bit more on what's causing them to take longer than you anticipate?
Okay, before I talk about us, I'd like to just set a scene, which is if you are Boeing, if you are Airbus, if you are SAP, or if you're Oracle, if you're going to win a large order for your organization, it often takes a very long time. You have to go through a whole series of steps, including technical. Does it work well enough? Does it do what the customer or user wants? You talk about price, you talk about all sorts of things. And so there are many things which you are going to have to negotiate. And we have not only to do all of that, but we've also got to explain why companies should buy, or organizations should buy from Acuity, which is a great company, but they should not buy on the you never get fired from IBM. We've got bigger competitors, and we have in the past had companies which will choose the IBM approach rather than us. Having said which, our product stream is, we believe, better than anything in the market. And the reason it's better is because our competitors sell modules, and each module is basically fixed. Our product stream is infinitely configurable. And if you're a large organization, you'll have software systems, you'll have outcomes you want to measure, and it's very useful to have a product which is easily configurable. You don't have to do any coding. Our competitors might be able to do it, but they will almost certainly require some coding, which makes it longer and more expensive, whereas we can be pretty confident that we will deliver a solution in a 6-week period if from date of start. And at the moment, we have a number of large opportunities which we are endeavouring to get over the line, one of which is with a Fortune 500 US company, and we've been talking to them for 2 years. We got to the point where they thought our product was best, but they bought from a competitor. They found they don't like the competitor's product, so they've come back to us. But that's led to another year of negotiation, and that is something that we can't we can't do anything about. We're going to have that, but we are confident enough in our own product stream to know that we have got a competitive edge, and customers really like the product. We're up there in Gartner's user surveys at the top 3 or 4.
Okay. Well, so you say you're confident that you've got that competitive edge in the product there, but it leads to the question of what's the strategy therefore to perhaps compete with the big competitors like IBM, as you said, and win those big new orders. I did note in the announcement this morning that you mentioned the group has strengthened the marketing team and launched a campaign to enhance the group's position to better communicate the value. So is this the sort of the main strategy then, to really start pushing on the marketing side to portray what you believe with your product to potential customers?
Well, actually, we're endeavouring to strengthen everything. So yes, brand awareness and key points that are going to attract customers are coming through. We've also got a program to enhance the personnel we have so that they're better able to negotiate. If you're in the sales, we've enhanced technically, and we have a new finance director who joined us from Lloyds Bank head office, and she's done a great job so far. She did the annual accounts and now done these interims. I'm very confident in her abilities, which is important. I mean, understanding about the finances of any business, particularly a small business, is absolutely critical.
Indeed, and that's on of course the big orders. But what about the sort of perhaps the reoccurring ones? I think it was noted that annual recurring revenue continues to build. So this is contracts you already have in place, and they keep sort of rolling on effectively.
Yes, I mean we're up slightly. We're up 11%, and again that would be a sort of figure which many companies would be quite pleased to achieve, but our ambitions and we think the opportunities for the company is to outperform that considerably. And one reason that I'm confident in saying that is if you went back 3 years, the company would have been really delighted to get £100,000 worth of contract for over, say, a 3-year period. Now we're regularly pitching for and in competition for contracts worth over 300,000 a year. Sorry, over 300,000 for the contract, and some are 300,000 for the first year.
Right. Okay. And then just on the products then, Angus, just a sort of a thought on the products here. I noticed you mentioned that you were looking to sort of broaden the product offering, so to speak. And I think that means probably changing the offering with Stream, but also the new product Storm, and actually getting that marketed as well.
Storm is interesting because it's a derivative of Stream, but there is, most of the things which we sell enable people to comply with legislation or regulation. Storm is a emerging market, and that is for management of venues and for events, which since the outrage at Manchester, the bombing, is becoming much more thought about by both the venue owners and event organisers. And if the government does pass the legislation, that will really drive this market. But even if it doesn't pass the legislation in the short term, there will be an emerging market for that, because people want to be doing best practice and they are concerned about their image, and ESG governance is an area that people are concerned about. So I think
Okay, so you're looking to market that more proactively.
we have begun to market it. We're getting some early stage customers, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Well, you seem to have set out the strategy there, particularly with sort of strengthening that team there and marketing to potential customers. Are you able to talk about targets? I mean, an ideal revenue targets or number of sales, that kind of thing?
We haven't got any figures in the public domain, and so I can't really say about that. What I can say is that we'll be looking to grow from where we are faster than we have been.
Okay.
That doesn't really
Thank you
help.
very
I'm
much.
sorry, but it's the best I can do.
Yes, I know. If we can see, targets are always useful. KPIs or what have you, or targets. I don't know what can be disclosed for public companies like yourself when it comes to targets or making forecasts. I know it's tricky, but they're always good to get an idea. But you're effectively saying.
What I can say is we're looking to accelerate, and we're taking steps to ensure that we can accelerate.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time. Angus Forrest, the Chairman of Acuity Risk Management.
Thank you, Mark.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programmes at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.